Mandal theory. Mandal simply means galaxy of a state or a group of a state. Here Mandal means group of states. Galaxy of a state or a combination of a state. That means Mandal. बोलते कि जैसे हिंदी में तारा मंडल, अभी गैलेक्सी ऑफ स्टार्स, तो ऐसे हम जब मंडल थ्योरी कहते हैं, मंडल थ्योरी का मतलब है देयर इज अ फोर प्रिंसिपल ऑफ मंडल थ्योरी, एंड हियर जस्ट यू कैन रिमेंबर Morgenthau, Kautilya, and not only Morgenthau, Machiavelli. Here we are going to compare Kautilya with Kenneth Waltz, contemporary theorists of international relations. These are structural realist, neo-realist. Therefore, four principles are there. It means what is Mandal theory? Mandal theory simply means how Modi ji should behave and deal with China as Mandal theory. What should be relation between US, China and India? That deals about Mandal theory. What should be India's relation with our neighborhood? That is Mandal theory. So Mandal theory is a theory, this principle, which tells that how we should deal with the other state with the overseas countries are located in the international affairs. Therefore, according to four principle, it is a sum. It means there is no one principle to deal with the other state. That is the point. Sum. Therefore, recently, our external affairs minister, he was visiting Pakistan. So many people, they always speak that why you speak to Pakistan. See, diplomacy should always be open. इसलिए दोस्तों याद रखना, if you are a student of diplomacy, कभी किसी से कट्टा मत करना. कट्टा कर लिया, हम क्या कहते हैं कि जो हमें पसंद नहीं कट्टा कर लिए, उधर से यार रास्ता बदल दिया. दिस इज वेरी इमोशनल रिएक्शन. कट्टा किसी से नहीं करना है, क्योंकि कब किससे काम लग जाए पता नहीं है. अपना काम निकालना है या इमोशनल बनना है? अपना काम निकालना है. Always look for the peace, but there is no one principle of life. And what Kautilya tells, what Machiavelli believes, याद रखना, कुछ लोग always dictated by some fixed principle of life. प्राण जाए पर बचन न जाए, कमाल की बात है. Promise is more important or life is more important? कमिट, कई लोग कहते हैं हमने कमिटमेंट किया है, तो कमिटमेंट तोड़ दिया, खत्म बात हो गई. और हमारे यहाँ तो अजीब सा सिद्धांत है, द पीपल आर कमिटेड फॉर द 7 generations. ओ माय गॉड, कमाल की बात है. इट मीन्स you must look for peace, but this is not only one way to live the life. इसे कई लोग क्या कहते हैं, truth is the best policy. Nothing is best, depend upon the circumstances and depend upon the conditions of the life. वैसा तय होगा ना. तो therefore psalm first peace, therefore next concession. दाम means concession. मालदीव को क्या चाहिए? हमने मालदीव को बुलाया, हमने कहा भाई इतना क्यों खिलाफ बोल रहे हो, मालदीव में कुछ पैसा दो, हमने कहा लो. ऑलवेज इसलिए अपने दोस्तों में कुछ हो उनको टी ऑफर करते रहो. ये मत सोचो कि बिला वजह टी पी रहे, कब कहाँ काम दे जाएंगे, आपको पता नहीं उस टी की कितनी बड़ी कीमत वो दे के जाएंगे. अगर आपसे कहीं लड़ाई उड़ाई किसी को हुई तो कौन काम आएगा? वही जिसको आपने चाय पिलाया है. गिव कंसेशन. कंसेशन का मतलब है कुछ कुछ गिफ्ट देते रहो. दीपावली आ गई, आपको लगता है ओ माय गॉड उससे नोट्स लिया जा सकता है, तो गिव ए किट कैट. कंसेशन. बिकॉज what is purpose is very clear. Purpose means preserving our interest, and these are means. What is the purpose of a state? To preserving interests or preserving principles. Interest should guide the life or principles should guide the life, and interest not always same. आपका देखो दोस्तों, अभी इंटरेस्ट क्या है? नोट्स मिल जाए, कॉपी मिल जाए, कॉपी चेक कर दे. आपको पता है, हियर यू आर वेरी अफेयर टीचर्स. जैसे लोग सिलेक्शन होता है उसके बाद कभी लौट के आते ही नहीं. Obviously, being a realist, I recognize that. मैं इसमें इमोशनल थोड़े, जो बच्चे बड़ी इमोशनल होते हैं अभी, तो कहता हूँ याद रखना, बाद के लिए इमोशनल होना. बाद में आप मुझसे रिलेशन रखोगे मिनिस्टर से. हाँ. थैंक गॉड. बट आई नो दैट. यही तो लाइफ है यार. लोग कहते हैं बदल गया. ओ माय गॉड, इट इज अ बदलोगे नहीं तो सर्वाइव कर पाओगे इस लाइफ में। चेंज होना. People are saying opportunism. Oh my God, nothing opportunism. This is the basic principle of life. It is opportunism or it is interest. Interest. Simple. और अब देखो दाम, कई बार एनिमी पावरफुल है, डिवाइड एंड रूल. आपका कोई बगल का नेबर है, अननेसेसरी आपको तंग किया जा रहा है, उसके घर में लड़ाई लगा दो. इफ चाइना इज वेरी पावरफुल, Taiwan, if Taiwan and China they are confronting with each other, and that is very important for India. If Tibetan are fighting a Chinese government, and that is better for India, according to divide and rule. So it depends upon the condition. No principle is fixed. Various principles are there for dealing with the state. Sometimes one principle works, sometimes other. एक ही प्रिंसिपल लेके मत चलना, बस केवल किट कैट लेके बैठे हो सकता है उसके पास ज्यादा किट कैट हो, बेकार हो गया आपका गिफ्ट. दैट इज अ प्रिंसिपल. वन प्रिंसिपल इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क ऑलवेज. अब सवाल है, पता चला आपने सोचा कंसेशन दे, चाइना क्या कंसेशन दोगे? कंसेशन जर्मनी को आप नहीं दे सकते, चाइना को नहीं दे सकते. देयरफॉर यू शुड हैव सम डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस. एंड लास्टली, if these are not working, then danda. Danda means fighting, war, whatever you can see. So it is danda. Danda is the last option, and here Kautilya is very similar to Machiavelli, and again it tells that power is different from the violence. States should try to increase power, or states should try to increase violence? Power. Power is more important. Therefore, how you can enhance your power? Sam, Dam, Dand, and Veda. Sam, Dam, Dand, and Veda. It is a Sham, Dam, Dand, and Veda means divide and rule. That is a Veda. These are four principles. Therefore, there is no universal principle. There is no fixed principle. Depends upon time. It means sometimes we can surgical strikes should be lost option. Confrontation with China should be lost option. और हमारे यहाँ ये लोग जो इमोशनल होते हैं कहते हैं लड़ लो. No, because you know that what is the purpose of state? Furthering our interest. And you remember, neither war nor peace. War or peace, these are means, not end in itself. What are end in itself? That is a national interest. This principle is known as realism. Therefore, what is the end of a state? To preserve the principle of morality? No. Here, Kautilya and Dharmasastra is very different. Therefore, earlier I have told you, once Dharma and Danda, they are conflicting with each other, where we should have focus? Danda. That is point. Once dealing with the other state, prince cannot behave morally. That is even said by Dharmasastra too. But here in Buddhist tradition, there is no idea of international relation. In Buddhist tradition purely moral. They are describing a principle of the international relation. But this Mandala Theory, four principle, they are described by Dharmasastra too, likewise of Arthashastra. Therefore, there is a huge continuity. Besides some differences, continuity, overlapping is more. Then, you know that six tactics, four principle, and then six strategies. Strategy is very important. Why strategy is very important? Six tactics. You know that what is the six, and we can do six tactics means again peace. So even if it is a six tactics can be summarized as follow. Like first, making allies. It means what are the six tactics? Are you remembering the six tactics? नोट्स देख के बताओगे फिर क्या इसका मतलब क्या है? वो मैं पढ़ी है. Notes. So six tactics means that is the policy of ashray, alliance, sandhi, peace, yan, mobilization. Therefore, sitting quietly, it is a sitting quietly, asan, sandhi, bigrah, hostility. It means these six principles can be understood in form of first. First, either you should make alliance, ally, although technically there is a difference between allies and alliance. So here you can say alliance. What these six studies can be summarized as either you make alliance or hostility. Hostility means war. Peace or neutrality. These are the various strategy lies in the hand of a monarch and prince. You know strategies because Sandhi, Vigrah, double policy, Dvaidi Bhav, Sansray, that is the alliance, and then it is Yan, that is a mobilization of army. The sixth principle can be summarized as follows. It means with US, India is pursuing the policy of alliance with US, and therefore Quad is a virtual alliance. See, technically, alliance means a military alliance. Allies means friendship. Technically, there is a difference between alliance and allies. Alliance means that is a Quad. Technically, NATO is the best example of alliance. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. You know what is the principle of NATO? If any state is attacking over any member, this will be treated as attack over entire NATO alliance. It means that is point. Have you make any alliance or not? कॉलेज अगर हम पढ़ते हो तो alliance कहीं बनाया कि नहीं बनाया आपने? Alliance नहीं बनाया आप लोगों ने? बनाया है? अच्छा अपने आप बन जाते थे. वैसा वाला alliance तो नहीं कि जब आप पिटने होते थे भाग खड़े होते थे. I have seen various alliances. कई बार क्या होता है बच्चों अपने दोस्तों के तुम देख लेना तुम चलो मैं आ रहा हूँ पीछे और जैसे पिट रहा है पीछे से भागते चले गए. ऐसा alliance मत बनाना. Alliance is the best policy. That is the point. Name is not mentioned by Kautilya. Kautilya is not mentioning so-called name. Name is not in the dictionary of Kautilya. What is either you go with the powerful state, either you go with war. Or war is yes, last option, not a first option. And you know that once you are deciding for war, you must remember even the weather. कितनी बड़ी बात उसने कही है. Why weather? Hitler was unnecessarily attacking Russia in the winters. That became the graveyard for the Hitler. See, in the season of rain, because no state should try to invite the war. Therefore, once Indo-Pakistan war occurred in 1971, India was well anticipated that war should be started after the snowfall, which will prevent any probability of Chinese forces coming in the Indian border. So these are very much anticipated. Their strategies. War is a well-planned strategy, just like a game of a chess. और उसके बाद क्या? War, peace. Normally, what we look for? Peace. If a state is powerful, then they can invite a condition of war. But once we are in the poor condition, economically fragile, instability, therefore inviting war may be very dangerous. जब पता चला कि आप अभी तो आप once you are having sickness और आप बीमारी से उठे नहीं तब तक किसी से भिड़ गए वो हड्डी पसली तोड़ देगा. ऐसे कंडीशन वॉर बिल्कुल नहीं करना है. वॉर तब करो जब जिम जाते हुए कम से कम साल 2 साल हो गए हैं. Once you're trained in the martial art and therefore neutrality. कई बार ऐसा होता है. If two giants are fighting with each other like China and Russia, or Russia and US sometime try to become neutral. You will say that this was a indirectly it was hinting towards NAM, but NAM was not a policy of neutrality. NAM was the policy of active participation in the world politics in order to transforming the world. Can you imagine the genius of Kautilya? What else option you can opt? Tell me. What else option you can opt? Are you having another other idea beside these options? Because these are realist principles. A realist always says that there is no universal principle of life. Any other option? Neutrality. Neutrality simply means neutrality का मतलब क्या होता है? Neither supporting nor opposing. It means what you want to say isolationism. Isolationism. This may be a policy, isolationism, and this was Monroe Doctrine. And what Monroe Doctrine says that US will never interfere in what is happening in Europe. So you can say although isolationism and neutrality is almost same, because Switzerland, have you seen that Switzerland never criticize what is happening in Ukraine? You cannot have any statement whether Palestine and Lebanon they are under attack by Israel. There is no single word that is coming from the Switzerland. But you look, sometime the state like Sweden, Norway, earlier there were always neutral. Now they are very much willing to join NATO. That is the idea of realism. No principle, no one principle is a fix for life. This may be changing, and that is point in 1971 we have opted other option. As of now, we are looking for the peace. Sometime peace with one, fighting with other. In 71, on the one hand, India was making a friendship with Russia. But same time, India was engaged in a war with Pakistan. As of now, Quad is best example that why India followed the policy of alliances. But there is one drawback of Kautilya. These are not line tactics. Can you guess? There is one drawback of Kautilya because no, that is what diplomacy is something else. You talk about diplomacy. See, Kautilya, realist. A realist never believe in an idea of economic cooperation, less like a SCO, European Union. As of now, world is changing. Therefore, as of now, we cannot ignore the idea of a liberal doctrine of international relation. And what liberals are saying that now fighting is more costly. And that is the idea of liberals. Fighting is more costlier. भाई simple सी बात है बी मारवाड़ी इफ यू वांट टू कंट्रोल द एंटायर वर्ल्ड आपको पता है मारवाड़ी केवल लड़ते उड़ते नहीं लड़ेंगे भी तो ऐसे आप 2-4 महीने बाद समझ पाएंगे यार तो गाली देके चला गया था why Marwadis are having control over the entire business because the simple reason they never fight with each other that is reason that is the principle of Marwadi means Japan Germany they became a center of economic growth after 1970s because of their economic power so they are not keeping the nuclear weapon. North Korea is very much keeping nuclear weapon but unable to raise their influence in the world. These are the strategies. This tells that why Kautilya was very much relevant in the 21st century. And being a realist, he is just like a Machiavelli, but he is very minute. Machiavelli also tells us write a book, Art of War, but Machiavelli is more focusing over tactics of war. But Machiavelli is more speak for a military science. मिलिट्री साइंस में देखो जो मिलिट्री साइंस पढ़ते हैं वो वार की टेक्निक पढ़ते हैं टाइप्स ऑफ वॉर वो पॉलिटिक्स की बात कर रहा है इन पॉलिटिक्स व्हाट हैपन डिप्लोमेसी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट अब देखो अभी डिस्कलेशन हुआ बॉर्डर पे डिप्लोमेसी से हुआ या मिलिट्री से हुआ डिप्लोमेसी से हुआ सो बीइंग अ डिप्लोमेट वी शुड लर्न फॉर द maximization of our interest whatever means we can apply the ultimate purpose is maximization of our interest lastly then group of state let us see These are principles how we can maintain our relation. And let us see group of state, that is mandal. So mandal include everything, principles too, and strategies too, and later. Mandal is comprises of one central core state, that is a Vijigishu. Mandal is comprised of one core state, one central is Vijigishu. Vijigishu means a state which is aspiring to win, and no state is aspiring to lose. Therefore, which one is central state in idea of Mandal theory? That is a Vijigishu. Obviously, a powerful state because international relation realism speak for power politics. Ultimately, what you have to extend power. Power is a guarantee of survival of a country. If a country is weak, therefore their security is in the danger. So, what is a base? How you can justify your interest on the basis of power? On the basis of power. So, Vijigisu. Let us see. India may be Vijigisu. India is Vijigisu. Then it is a the state which is bordering India. It is a Pakistan, and Pakistan is enemy because of geopolitics. Kautilya says that इसका मतलब है Nalini is the enemy to Sreyash. Mandal theory. And Duggal is enemy to Nur Muhammad. जो आप समझ लो आपके बगल कौन बैठा हुआ है एनिमी कृष्णा Shreyas is enemy to Krishna. Shreyas is India, Krishna is Pakistan, and Rosni is Afghanistan. And this was a geographical principle. You may accept, may not accept, because this Mandal principle is not applied over the Bhutan. Kautilya says that whichever state is bordering our state is enemy. Here geopolitics, whichever state is bordering our state, that is an enemy. So you can give example of Bhutan. But once we want to prove Kautilya's theory, then we have to come with otherwise US and Canada, they are the closest ally. China and Pakistan, China and North Korea. Yes. So that is point. Kautilya's theory may not be perfect because in humanities we can't claim that any theory is totally perfect. But there may be one element of truth. That is reason we are reading out number of thinkers. फिजिक्स में ऐसा थोड़ी होता है फिजिक्स में इज इक्वल टू एम सी स्क्वायर उसमें तीन ऑप्शन थोड़ी होता है कि एम सी भी हो सकता है एम सी थ्राइस भी हो सकता है सो वी डोंट वांट टू से दैट कौटिल्य वाज परफेक्ट बट obviously he was propounding the base of realism and the state which is bordering with enemy that is like here in case of Iran we can say Afghanistan right after rebel of Taliban government in Afghanistan although Afghanistan has never been enemic towards India but matter of the fact is that Pakistan always try to use the land of Afghanistan in order to harming the interest of India. Otherwise, Afghans has never been against India. It means core. It is a core. Just opposite to core is a enemy. Opposite to which gives is enemy. Opposite to enemy is a mitra. Mitra means ally. Therefore, you can here remember even Iran is almost ally mitra to India. Earlier, Afghanistan was mitra to India. It means it may be, although now, as of now, Afghanistan is moving in some other direction. Otherwise, mitra of whom? Vijigishu. Vijigishu central. And thereafter you can see Mandal theory. Enemy's enemy. Friend. It means our enemies, Pakistan enemies, Iran. According to that Mandal theory. Because in case if we are recognizing that Pakistan is border with Iran, Iran is enemy for Pakistan, but we are deciding position from the Vijigishu. For a Vijigishu, state is a Mitra, allies. Therefore, what is Mandal theory? Allies, allies, allies. Enemies, enemy. Enemies, enemy, friend. Who is the enemy of India? Pakistan. And who is the enemy of Pakistan? Afghanistan. India, Afghanistan, Mitra, friend. Who is the enemy of India? China. Who is the enemy of China? Japan. India, Japan, friend. What is Mandal theory? Allies, allies, ally. Enemies, enemy, allies. Enemies, allies, enemy. Our enemy is Pakistan. China's ally is Pakistan. That is point. How we can explain Mandal theory? That is a allies, ally. They are ally. Allies, allies. It means here India, ally Japan, then it is US, India, Japan, US, allies, allies, ally. They are being very coordination, member of Quad. Thereafter, it is enemy's enemy. Enemy's enemy. Our enemy is Pakistan. Pakistan's enemy is Afghanistan. India, Afghanistan is a friend. Enemy's enemy, ally. And then enemy's ally. Enemy's ally, enemy. And who's our enemy? Pakistan. Who's ally Pakistan? China. China is our enemy. Enemy's ally, enemy. Enemy's enemy, ally. And allies, allies, allies. And enemies, allies, allies. Enemy. Enemy तो होगा. Enemy तो होगा. And then Vijigisu is comprised of some other state, like, because seven organs of a state is known as seven prakriti. Seven prakriti, yes. Allies, enemy, obviously. If you're saying allies enemy, what is allies enemy? Obviously, allies enemy is obviously enemy. Enemy. Next, core. It is a. It is enemy means Ari. Vijigis Mitra, that is ally. And third state, what he refers as a Madhyam. Madhyam state, that is a bordering border of both Vijigisu and enemy. That is the Madhyam. Madhyam state means it is a kind of a middle state. Middle state should be more powerful than core and enemy. This may be China. China may Madhyam. Because time and again, geopolitics is very important. Therefore, Kautilya time and again refer the condition of geopolitics. Therefore, which one is a Madhyam? The shearing border of Vijigisu and enemy, and powerful than both. It should be powerful from both. Therefore, what Kautilya recognizes that the capability of every state is not same. Madhyam is more powerful than other state, and the same said by Kenneth Waltz. Look, what Kautilya says that entire structure of international politics, core, enemy, allies. See, in case of conflict between core, enemies, allies, who will protect them? Nobody except their allies. So in Kautilya's theory, there is no idea of international organization. No UNO is there. Only state is basic agencies. So how you can protect your interest? On the one, once you're powerful, otherwise you're having allies. That is the best meaning of realism. Because what realists believe that state are central of international politics. Therefore, international politics is anarchic, said by Kenneth Waltz. Anarchic simply means the meaning of anarchy is different in theory and meaning of anarchy is different in IR. Once we see anarchy in theory, statelessness. Once we are referring anarchy in theory, what the absence of state and government. Therefore, once Hobbes is referring anarchy, absence of state and government. But in IR, anarchy means absence of any institution which can regulate the behavior of a state, like of any international organization which can regulate the behavior of a state. That is the meaning of anarchy. That is the idea of anarchy. Therefore, which state can regulate the behavior of Russia? And which state is able to protect the Ukraine? This is best example of anarchic world. Therefore, Israel is heading towards Palestine, Lebanon. No country is coming forward for protecting a smaller state. It means what is the currency, and that is similar said by Kenneth Waltz. Structure of international politics is anarchic. Only capability of a state can protect the state. Remember, इसलिए आप याद रखना दोस्तों के भरोसे बहुत ज्यादा रहने की जरूरत नहीं है. ये सोचना कि मैंने झगड़ा किया तो मेरे दोस्त बचा देंगे, very debatable. Therefore, and last state, that is where geographical conditions not applied, for last one, and that is the udasin, neutral state. Here meaning of neutrality is very different. What he said that? Udasin. Udasin means neutral. Neutral state is like US. Neutral states should be powerful of every state. Neutral states should be more powerful with Madhyam. It means a smaller mandal is comprised of 4 states, larger mandal is comprises of 12 states. How many states? Larger mandal comprises of 12 states, and smaller mandal comprises of 4 states. 4 state means it is a Mitra and it is a Ari and Madhyam Udasin. Because we can have every state like a Vijigation. Ari, Mitra, Madhyam and Udasin. These are the 4 states that comprise smaller mandal. And here capability of all states are different. Therefore, position of a state is a hierarchical, and there is no institution which can protect the interest of a state. And here Kautilya appears very similar like Kenneth Waltz. Kenneth Waltz said same. See what is Kenneth Waltz? Although Kenneth Waltz was writing a book in 1979. Kenneth Waltz was writing a book in 1979, A Theory of International Politics during the phase of the Cold War. Kenneth Waltz also said that because why states are fighting with each other? Why there is a confrontation between the state? Because of the capability. Because difference of capability, because of security dilemma, and because of a distribution of power. Distribution of power is not same. Why? What is the reason behind the conflict between nation and state? Distribution of power is different. Capability is not same, and there is no agency which is coming forward for protecting any nation state. Therefore, a smaller 4 state makes one mandal, and larger means it is comprised of 12 states. Principle is same, and that graph of 12 states that is written in your notes. The 12 state graph है आपके नोट्स में दे रखा गया है. But how we can equate the same with Kenneth Waltz? You can note down 2 points. Kautilya, Machiavelli, and Kenneth Waltz. First point. Kautilya as well as Machiavelli believe in amoral politics. You remember amoral politics? Both believe in amoral politics because principles are more important. Sorry, because interest is more important. Interest is more important than the principles. Next point. लेकिन आपको पता है why there is a difference between Machiavelli? Machiavelli also says that every state is hostile towards your state. So what here Machiavelli and Kautilya are also similar. Why? Next point. Kautilya and Machiavelli both argued that every country can be a potential enemy. Kautilya and Machiavelli both argued that every country can be a potential enemy. Every country can be a potential enemy. Therefore, power and military strength of a state is essential for the security of a state. Power and military of a state is essential for the security of a state. Next point. लेकिन बस एक एग्जांपल आपको बता दें. देखिए जब मैकियावेली से पूछा गया व्हाई देयर इज अ मोर चांसेस ऑफ फाइटिंग इन नेशन स्टेट, सो व्हाट मैकियावेली ब्लेम अबाउट ह्यूमन नेचर. सेम थिंग वाज सेड बाय मॉर्गन थाउ. इसका मतलब मॉर्गन थाउ से पूछा जाए कि व्हाई देयर इज अ फाइट बिटवीन इंडिया एंड चाइना, so Morgan Thau will say that since Modi is a power seeker and Xi Jinping is a power seeker, because every head of a state, because they are human being, and being a human, getting more and more power is basic nature of human being. If every human being want to maximize their power, what ultimate result is? The conflict. Ultimately, we are going to have a conflict. That was a viewpoint of Morgan Thau, and this was similar viewpoint was having the Machiavelli, but Kenneth Waltz never accepted that. Because why we can blame human nature for the conflict in international relations? It is human nature or anarchic world politics. It means, अच्छा बताओ मॉर्गन थाओ और केनेथ वॉल्स को अप्लाई करके आप बताओ, although the same we are supposed to read out in the theory of IR. सिंपल सी बात है. Why Ukraine and Russia are fighting with each other? Apply Morgan Thau and tell me. Why Russia and Ukraine are fighting with each other? Apply Morgan Thau and tell me. Human nature. Zelensky is looking for power. Putin is looking for power. But apply Kenneth Waltz. No state which is capable to regulate the behavior either Russia or Ukraine. Therefore, anarchy. Next point, correct? Not human nature. Next point. In the year 1979, और ये बात हम IR में डिटेल में पढ़ते हैं. In the year 1979, Kenneth Waltz wrote Theory of International Politics. And said that point number 1, distribution of power is hierarchical among the nation state. Second point, the capabilities of a state are different. And third, nation state are supreme and they are not subject to control of any organization. They are not subject to control of any organization. वी आर नॉट सब्जेक्ट टू कंट्रोल ऑफ एनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. अब देखो ये केनेथ वॉल्स ने बात कही है. यू रिमेंबर वी वांट टू एक्सप्लेन Kautilya, not Kenneth Waltz. But while telling you Kautilya, I am referring some Kenneth Waltz. How we can apply Kautilya in the entire idea of Kenneth Waltz? यही तो बात कौटिल्य ने कह दी. Entire idea of Kenneth Waltz said by Kautilya. How? Next point you can from next paragraph. Kautilya described that power of Madhyam is more than Mitra and Ally. Power of Madhyam is more than Mitra and Ally. And Udasin is the most powerful. Udasin is the most powerful. In the Mandala Theory of Kautilya, it is the indication of unequal distribution of power among nation states, which becomes the cause of security dilemma, for the states. Next point. For Kautilya, a smaller mandal is comprises of 4 states, and a larger mandal is consisted of 12 states. Full stop. There is a lack of any international organization which can regulate the behavior of nation state, thus international relation is anarchic. So this was the analysis of Kautilya. तो अब कौटिल्य ने अब इस बात को 12 स्टेट के फॉर्म में दिखा दिया है, क्योंकि 12 स्टेट के फॉर्म में क्यों दिखाया? कुछ स्टेट रीड साइड में आते हैं, कुछ स्टेट फ्रंट साइड में आते हैं. तो इसी बात को उसने 12 स्टेट में दिखा दिया. बट कौटिल्या's theory is reminding us of entire idea of religion. तो आप देखोगे otherwise this is very much lacking in the Machiavelli. And let us see why Kautilya was far ahead. This is all about Mandal theory. But you know that what is the problem of Mandal theory? The same problem lies in realism. Kenneth Waltz always says that security is the key. Kenneth Waltz always says that. What is the idea of a realist? भाई रियलिस्ट सीधे कहेंगे नेबर हैव ए ट्रस्ट ओवर अदर्स. अब यही बात तो है. देखो इंडिया चाइना के बीच इतनी अच्छी इनिशिएटिव हुई. अगेन स्कॉलर से दैट डोंट हैव ए ट्रस्ट ओवर चाइना. बट ट्रस्ट किसी पे करोगे? हु इज अ रियलिस्ट? अब दीपावली आपने गिफ्ट बाहर रखवा दिया. नो नो नो, वहां बाहर रखो, पहले वो चेक होगा कि कौन दिया है, किसने दिया है. दिस इज आइडिया ऑफ रियलिज्म. रियलिस्ट नेवर हैव ए ट्रस्ट ओवर अदर्स. और पता चला जो लिबरल है, अरे कहीं से गिफ्ट मिला, खाना शुरू कर दिया, पहले कूद के देखा गिफ्ट में है क्या. दे आर लिबरल्स, हैव ए ट्रस्ट. तो मैकियावेली रियलिज्म की बात करता है. इट मीन्स इन रियलिज्म देयर इज मोर आइडिया ऑफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. स्टेट आर ऑटोनॉमस, but we can have a state where there should be economic interdependence. Remember the term economic interdependence. भाई इंडिया चाइना के बीच में क्या हो सकता है? इकोनॉमिक इंटरडिपेंडेंस हो सकता है. नाउ चाइना इज लार्जेस्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमी, इंडिया टू. therefore we are having the immense potential to have a larger trade partnership with China. So why we are unnecessarily confrontation? अगर सोच देखो रियलिज्म में क्या हो गए, रियलिस्ट नेम शेयर नोट्स. अगर आपसे नोट्स मांगे तो ओ माय गॉड, अपनी सीक्रेट टेंडेंसी में किसी को दे दो, रियलिज्म है. अरे व्हाट इज लिबरल थिंग? मेक अ ग्रुप, साथ साथ पढ़ लो, एक्सचेंज कर लो. इवन टुगेदर वी कैन विन. नॉन जीरो सम गेम, तो रिलेशन नॉन जीरो सम गेम का होना चाहिए, जीरो सम गेम का होना चाहिए? नॉन जीरो सम गेम का. रियलिस्ट बिलीव इन जीरो सम गेम and the liberal believe in non-zero sum game, and that is the idea of Kautilya.